And good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and Coffee Stream episode 440. Today, it's just going to be kind of a interesting, catch-up day for some, news, like election-adjacent news and, just kind of some, just not necessarily fully election stuff today, but there will be some election talk. And I also just want to wish everybody a safe and happy Labor Day weekend. I know that there's, at least in here in Ontario, a lot of parents are excited that their kids are going back to school in person. So that's happening next week, which means the coffee streams and everything will start getting back to normal. I basically plan on taking this weekend and basically trying to come up with a schedule for myself and, for the kids, but mostly like for myself to balance out everything during the day so that I can start, actually making videos for YouTube and for TikTok, and I'm also I kind of had a brain fart and a brain wave at the same time and was like, why have I not tried to contact the assistive devices program to help get a better computer, you idiot? So I took that step this morning, contacted the assistive devices program. There's an assessment center here locally. So I took that step this morning. So hopefully I'll be able to get a desktop computer that will have some better processing guts so that I can actually properly use, things like slobs and just up the production value of the the streams and the videos and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's basically all that I'm doing right now. I hope I will be updating you guys on what's going on with that. And where are we here? There's no share? That's stupid. That's dumb. Greetings, Zuluan! Greetings. Also, so I've found, well, I'll bring that up in a little bit when there's more people here for some discussion. But let's jump right into this funness. So just before the stream started, Pincalo tagged me in a tweet. And so I'm going to pull up the notification. I tried DMing myself the video that he tagged me in. But for some reason, VoiceOver is like having a conniption fit whenever I try to tab to that video, and it just stops working. So I'm just going to go to my notifications and access that video from there, and then screen share it when I have that pulled up. So let's see here. Hello, Selecta Boy. Welcome to the stream. So as I said, just before you guys started coming in, I have taken the step to initiate applying for what's called here the Assistive Devices Program. And I'm hoping to get assistance in getting a new desktop computer with some, a bit of a better processing and power, just so I can up the production value of the streams and the video content. So, and I found out that recipients of ODSP are qualify or are eligible for 100%. What's it called? Where it's 100% covered instead of 75% covered. So I have the opportunity to get a computer and all this stuff with some help. Why is voiceover going all crazy? Come on. It's like voiceover is having a conniption fit. It's weird. It's like I'm trying to access this tweet and it's like not weird. It's like skipping. It won't let me. I'm hoping this isn't with every Twitter message, and I don't know why it's doing this today. So we're gonna go back over here. Holy shit, what is going on with my computer? We're gonna go back and share the screen and hopefully give the web page a chance to resolve its issues. What the fuck? Why is this? Like, it's not talking. It's starting to talk, and then it's just like having a conniption fit. What the fuck is going on here? Okay. What the fuck? Well, this kind of sucks for a show opener, because there was supposed to be a video of Trudeau, like a. No, it's I don't know if it's that particular tweet, honey, or if it's all tweets. I'm really hoping it's not. But like voiceover starts to talk and then it freezes. And it's on that video, like that particular video, that Trudeau video that you tagged me in, which I really wanted to start the show with, like you suggested. And I'm very, very concerned that this is going to be a problem for me accessing the other stories that I have. I'm gonna delete that. Yeah, I sent myself the original video as well, and it just won't it won't work. Like voiceover just starts to have this weird conniption fit, and I'm not understanding what the issue is here. I'm really, like I said, I'm really hoping this is just a thing that particular video was causing. Let's look at another article that I have. Hello, Seamus. Hello, hello, hello. All right, let's fix that pop filter. That doesn't need to be there. Yeah. It was just that video. How odd. That's very interesting that video caused such an issue. And I have not had any issues like that with like sharing other Twitter videos to myself. Like, I'm not entirely sure why that would happen in both my DMs and in going into the notification and trying to access it that way. That was very strange. That was very, very weird. Okay. So, that really sucks. I wanted to I wonder if there's a YouTube version. I wonder if there is a YouTube version. If there is, I'm totally playing it. Let's see here. Nope. Damn it. That sucks. And, I mean, I would play it for you over my phone, but, you know, that would sound terrible. And you wouldn't be able to see, like, the visuals. So that's not really worth it. That sucks. That's very disappointing. Oh well. Let's not harp on it. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So let's get this shared. So we have a Gaffes and Scandals article. And then we have an update article. There was a French debate yesterday. There are 2 French debates this election, and only 1 English debate, which I find kind of strange. But, you know, that's that. So there was a French debate last night that there's an article that we'll be looking at. But after we take a look at this, we'll why are you not selecting, you fuck, Jesus Christ. Is this gonna work? There we go. Okay. So, here we go. Gaffes and Scandals. O'Toole toilet video still causes flush of embarrassment. The Liberals wasted no time of using the June 2020 video as an example of just how serious O'Toole is. Yeah, when that's all you have, you don't have much. Okay, let's take a look here. So for those of you guys who are going, what the hell? Aaron O'Toole did a video in I guess he was like on the toilet or whatever. And he did a video from there. So yeah, it was weird. So let's take a look here. Oh, I should unplug the headphones so you guys can actually hear. There we go.
Federal conservative leader Aaron O'Toole nearly flushed his political chances away. You are currently... Story continues below. Third party had...
Why is the volume not turning up? That's weird. What the fuck is going on with my computer?
Save frame container. Frame. You are currently on a frame. To enter the web area, press Control. End of.
I don't understand why my computer's volume will not turn up. Okay.
Just before Canada Day 2020, the then leadership candidate released a Facebook Live video of himself standing next to a porta potty. You are currently on a text element.
Yeah. So he wasn't even on the toilet, I don't think. Yeah, it was a bit awkward, yeah.
YouTube video. Group. YouTube. Frame. End of. Not only was it a gift to photo editors everywhere, it undermined the seriousness of the message he was attempting to convey and left him looking something less than prime ministerial.
So is this the video?
YouTube.
Do they have
Frame.
it here?
YouTube video. Unable to play media. Group. Link. Photo image of Toronto. Heading level 2. Link. Toronto Sun. Chrome has new window. Heading level 3. 48.3k subscribers. Subscribe to channel. Button. Subscribe as blind press.
Did they put this up here?
Is there an O'Toole PR strategy in the toilet? Watch later as blind press. Button. Watch share. Later as blind press. Button. Share. Play. End of. YouTube video player. Group.
I don't know if that's the original video, so we won't worry about it.
Not only was it... I was driven to do this because we're on the eve of Canada Day, and now cancel culture, the radical left, is trying to cancel out the Canadian flag, O'Toole says in a 9-minute clip. I wore it on my sleeve in my uniform in the Canadian Armed Forces. O'Toole goes on to note that he was upset by a trigger warning in a Canadian newspaper running an image of the flag.
Yeah, that would be kind of upsetting. I remember this video. Let's see. No, I don't think Streamlabs OBS is running. I checked before I started up everything. Let me quickly double check here. Oh, MIDI setup is open still. That's why. That's why. Okay, let's see if I can turn up the volume now.
I wore it on my... O'Toole goes on to note that he was upset by a trigger warning in a Canadian newspaper running an image of the flag.
Nope, not working. Why the fuck is it not working?
O'Toole then moves to stand in front of the Prime Minister's office on Parliament Hill, where he notes Justin Trudeau had stripped away the name of Senior Hector Lois Langman, a father of Confederation, over his role in residential schools for Indigenous children. You are currently...
And see, and this is my problem, is that Trudeau is doing all of this, but he's not denouncing his dad's role in it. He's not doing anything to fix what's going on right now. Like, it's all virtue signaling and window dressing.
Story continues below. Third party ad content. Save frame container. End of. YouTube video. Group. YouTube. End of. Unmute video. Button. O'Toole promised conservative leadership voters that if they supported him, he would change Trudeau's address to something more suitable, pointing to a nearby portable toilet. We're going to move Justin Trudeau out of this office into a more appropriate office for Justin Trudeau, O'Toole said, laughing and gesturing to the toilet.
Yeah, that's not appropriate, sir. I mean, I agree with you, right? I do. But if you're trying to win votes, not exactly the appropriate, not exactly the appropriate wording you'd want to use. Oh man. Okay.
We've got something lined up already for him. It just happens to be here in advance.
Yeah.
As O'Toole struggled to bring together a divided caucus in the early days of his leadership, his party released a no celebrity ad that introduced him to Canadians as just a regular guy, just Aaron, who works hard for Canada, not headlines. The Liberals wasted no time pointing to the toilet video as an example of just how serious O'Toole is.
Yeah, no, that was a misstep. He really shouldn't have made that video.
The Sun is revisiting political gaffes and scandals in the run-up to the September 20th federal election. You are link AR2so at link view on Toronto SUN Chrome has new items. You are currently in a list.
So that's the Aaron O'Toole gaffes and scandals, which, you know, it is pretty silly to have done that. Now let me see. I can't remember if there was one more over here. Yes, there is. So this is one that's going to make us all probably a little bit more upset. Let's see here. Okay, let's go share the screen. Yeah, I've took a look at these articles beforehand. So some of them are gonna pretty well enrage us. So let's take a look here. Where am I? StreamYard. Let's go share this screen. I'm also hoping on top of getting a computer funded through this assistive devices program, I'm also hoping to get a braille display, because that way I don't have to worry about shit like volume levels and voiceover or JAWS or whatever screen reader I happen to be using when I get a new computer. I will be just able to read to you the news like everyone else. So I'm hoping to do that, to get that done. Hello, Costin and Ghost Dog. Welcome to the show. Okay. So here's an opinion piece. Student returned to the campus along with anti-Semitism. Oh my. That's not exactly what you want to have on a campus. All right, here we go.
As in-person learning resumes and students return to campuses across the country, Jewish and pro-Israel students may be faced with anti-Semitism, writes Adi bin Lalo. Above.
Maybe. We may be facing anti-Semitism. Dude, we had a party leader stand up in the House of Commons and demand that we stop supporting Israel and that we be pro-Palestine and that Palestinian lives matter. And they may be facing anti-Semitism? Oh my, that's a bit of an understatement.
A storm of anti-Semitism awaits Jewish and pro-Israel students at colleges and universities this fall. With the Jewish New Year now upon us and students moving into their residences this week, we can expect another year of tension, anxiety, and bigotry on campuses. While the Abraham Accords defused and undermined campus extremism last spring, the Hamas war against Israel in May provided renewed imagery with which to bash Israel. We saw this play out on city streets around the world over the summer. Now with an in-person return to campus, extremists will bring their propaganda to the lecture halls.
That is a very real fear. You know, there's been so much pro-Palestine rhetoric going on, and now and since everything's been, you know, virtual, it's been, you know, I don't want to say it's been contained, because it hasn't been. It's been all over social media. Um, let's see. This is hilarious because it's only talks about the people that are pro-Israel. It only talks about the people who are pro-Israel, and that they'll be discriminated against, but that they will be discriminated against, but they don't say that they will be discriminated against by the pro-Palestinian people. Oh. Um, let's, no, it's not anti-Semitic not to want to, well, it's not anti any country not to want to support them, but to, like, there are certain things being said by pro-Palestinians that are pretty horrific about Israelis and those who support Israelis. Um, there's a lot of really nasty hate filled rhetoric being levied from both sides, and yes, I am saying that. Um, it's a very intense situation right now, and I think that it is going to cause a problem in college campuses, whether you be pro-Israel or pro-Palestine. I think there's going to be some pretty heated campus issues that may arise from all of this.
Story continues below. The hostile climate will no doubt worsen with attempts to boycott and delegitimize the Jewish state. Even as the war with Gaza was raging, extreme leftish campus groups began passing hostile resolutions and statements against Israel. Sadly, many of these groups believe they are acting in the cause of social justice without fully understanding either the context of the conflict or that Hamas is a radical Islamist terrorist organization, not unlike the Taliban. Either way, this unfounded and radicalized behavior on campuses ends up victimizing Jewish students and faculty, as it has for the past 20 years. You are currently on...
Well, I would posit to this author that radicalized behavior on campus would not be good for any group. Um, I don't know. It's like Seamus said, it's not anti-Semitic to just not support Israel, but I mean, Hamas is a terrorist organization. And yeah, yeah. Let's see here. Israel is a genocidal apartheid state. I'm not entirely sure where you get that from.
Heading level 2. Distraught scale. You are currently on heading level 2. Advertisement. Of all places, the campus is no place for hate and intolerance. If as a society we are to uphold universal conventions of human rights and freedoms, anti-Semitism must be vehemently rejected and condemned by university administrations and faculty. You are currently on it.
I'd like to change the last part of that sentence. If we are to... What was the first part?
Of all places, the campus is no place for hate and intolerance. If as a society we are to uphold universal conventions of human rights and freedoms.
Yeah, so if we as a society are to uphold universal conventions for human rights and freedoms, then any radical behavior or any, racial, like, actual racial issues, not, my feelings were hurt, but actual racial issues should not be tolerated on campus, whether they be anti-Semitism or what was I gonna say? So this is the other reason I want to have a braille display, because right now I can't, I don't know where is good to skip and I don't know where isn't, and I have to have voiceover read to me everything so that I can determine whether it's worth skipping. With a braille display, I can like quickly skim and be like, nope, I don't need to read that, and like pan past it. So yeah, at the risk of beating a dead horse because I have a feeling I'm going to be repeating myself a lot during this article. I think we've figured out the gist of it. I'm going to move on, and we're going to look at a different article, because we all know that any type of intolerant / radicalizing / any of that ridiculous behavior, whether it be from the left or the right, really has no place in college. It hasn't had a place in college for decades. It needs to be not there, regardless of whether it be anti-Semitism or white supremacy or, the flip side of, just making everything about black or people of color, none of it. Everybody should be just there to learn so that they can be productive members of society and get a good education. We don't need to be, indoctrinating people and brainwashing people at college. That's not what college should be for. So I think we can all agree on that. And move along. All right, let's see here. So this is an interesting article that I actually found this morning. It's about a small town in Ontario, like in cottage country, talking about people who have vacationed there, registering to vote there somehow. I'm not entirely sure how the hell you could do that. I don't know, like maybe if you have, like my grandfather has hydro connected up at our cottage, but I think the bill goes to his home, so I'm not, like, unless you had mail that goes to your cottage or your campsite, I'm not sure how you could register to vote. I don't know how you could do that legally. Well, yes, but also having to deal with different people and different ideas. Oh, yeah, no, there absolutely. We need to not be radicalizing people. We need to, in college, we need to be sanely and logically exposing people to different ideas and opinions without telling them, like, I remember learning about, different thoughts or different opinions and being taught how to read those opinions and form my own judgment. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember being taught that in high school. I don't see that being taught anywhere. I see people going, now we are going to read this opinion, and before we read this opinion, I would just like you to look at that to know that the author of this piece is an istophobe, and please look at that through that knowledge, through that lens, that this person is an istophobe, and we need to evaluate their opinion based on that knowledge, instead of, here's a piece written by an author, read it, and come. Okay, so he can vote. Okay, yeah, he pays property taxes. on the cottage property. He has the right to vote in that municipality and ours. Okay. I know this because the candidates came up. Oh, really? Some candidates came up to you, huh? But yeah, so I'm just, I really, really think that being taught how to evaluate an opinion or a thought process objectively has completely gone out the window. Like, I use this example all the time. My history teacher, before we get into this article, my history teacher in grade 10, when we got to the unit on World War II, was like, okay, I want you to understand what kind of person was leading Germany at the time and why he got into power. So he explained, he explained the mindset of what had happened in after World War One and how Germans resented that and how Hitler, capitalized on that. And he explained to us a whole bunch of different variables about Hitler. And then he passed out passages of Mein Kampf so that we could read Hitler's writings and read what kind of crazy man was leading Germany. And then he showed us a documentary called Where Hitler Went Wrong, not from the context of Hitler was a great guy, but he just made some mistakes, but like logically and from a tactical standpoint, this is where Hitler went wrong. We should all be really, really glad he did. Was the kind of contact. So we had like all of this extra objective information that we watched and could form our own opinions on. Like, that is not taught anymore. Howdy, Maniac Man. So let's read this article. Ontario cottage owners warn of campground coup by Ontario cottage owners warn of campground coup by seasonal residents. Okay, let's take a look here. So this is from Wollaston Township. I've heard of Wollaston, but I cannot quite place where it is. So this is a photo of Red Eagle Campground in Wollaston Township. So let's see here.
Posted September. Some longtime resident. Red Eagle Campground in Wollaston Township has been operating on Wollaston Lake since the 1930s and has about 220 sites. Renters at campgrounds in the area have registered for the municipal voters list of Wollaston, angering local residents who say they're outnumbered in civic elections. Stu Mills/CBC.
Okay, so that's the caption, and let's take a listen.
Some longtime residents of a small cottage country township in Hastings County, ONT, say their rights and interests are being trampled by a growing group of vacationers who form a voting bloc to influence the local government. You are... Okay, so I'm guessing they're saying that people who, have a campground or a campsite maybe to park their RV on for the summer or stuff like that. I think that's what they're saying as people are registering to vote. Oh, no, he cannot we cannot vote federally in both places. No. Okay, that makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. Since 2018, hundreds of renters from 2 RV campgrounds have registered their names to the municipal voters list of Wollaston, a heavily forested 22,000-hectare township located midway between Toronto and Ottawa. You are
Okay, yeah. Okay, now I know where Wallace. I knew that name. I'm like, I know Wollaston. Where the hell is it? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so these people on the RV grounds are registering to vote in a municipal elect. You don't live there year round. Why the fuck are you voting there? Like, you go there for a week or so every few weeks in the summer when you're vacationing. Why are you voting there? Like, vote at your primary municipality residence. Let's see. Yeah, that's true, honey. It is a bit confusing because it has to do with giving. Oh my goodness, riding, not party leadership. Yeah, but yeah, I don't understand that. Why would you, if you are vacationing there like every few weeks in the summer, why would you vote for things that don't affect you like 85% of the time? You know what I mean? Like, don't fuck with the actual people that vote there. You know, they live there all year. You don't. You go vote in your city where you live all the time except for when you're vacationing. Like, I don't agree with that. I think that's a little shady. I don't like, even though we've been up at the cottage, even though we've had that property for decades, right? We don't live there. We don't live there at all. We visit there for a weekend at a time. Like, we don't. I don't think we have the enough vested interest in what happens in that township that we should be exercising of voting rights. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's okay. Maybe I'm just too nice. I don't know. Like, yeah. Good God, Kamokas and the Ponies. No, but I'm just saying, like, if you do not let, like, if you split your time like equally between the two places, like if you live in your RV from like May to September, okay, that I'd understand voting in that municipality, right? But if you're opening your RV, you come down every couple of weeks for a few days, and then you go home. What the fuck are you doing? That's an asshole move.
In the last civic election, campground registrants outnumbered permanent residents of voting age 664 to 605, electing a council deeply divided on a variety of issues from environmental concerns with a local lake to the sale of township green space for development. You are currently...
Wow, that's a dick move. That's a dick move. Like, that's not cool. Why would you do that?
The ongoing dispute in the area represents a growing issue in small towns across Ontario, with one legal professor suggesting the question of who qualifies as a tenant will only become more prominent in an age of short-term rentals.
That, exactly. Like, the fact that, like, these short-term rentals and all this stuff, like, and people are entitled shitheads nowadays, right? Nobody stops for a second and goes, gee, do I spend more time in my permanent residence or do I spend more time short-term renting up here? Oh, I spend more time in my permanent residence? Maybe I should not be voting here. Yeah, we at least, yeah, Pincolo has a good point. He said, see, the dick move about this is that we at least have a building on land. These people have fucking mobile homes. Yeah, yeah, it's, yeah, my grandpa voting at the cottage makes a little bit more sense because he actually has a building on land that he pays property tax for, right? These assholes have RVs on campsites that they are renting, right? That's different. That is much different. That is really, really dickish to affect permanent residents, the permanent, residents of that area's voting and civic life because you guys want to be, shitheads.
I call it a campground queue, said Graham Blair, the former reeve of Wollaston who lost his seat 3 years ago. You are correct. Bear Ridge Campground began an expansion in 2015 and now includes about 100 lots. Owner Jay Morrison is also a member of the Town Council Stu Mills/CDC. The area is home to several conservation areas, including beaver ponds and wetlands. It's also a popular spot for ATV enthusiasts and campers who park their trailers at the Bear Ridge and Red Eagle campgrounds. You are today the owner of Bear Ridge. His bookkeeper and a camper make up 3 of Wollaston's 5 councillors. You are correct.
Okay.
Blair and others in the community allege the effect of that concentration of power has left both vacation businesses with an inadequate septic system and the council indifferent to enforcement, leading to a general decline in the health of the local lake. You are currently
Wonderful! Wonderful. So all the townies showed up and looked after their vested interests and, the septic system, the health of the lake, the conservation areas. Who gives a fuck about all of that shit? As long as our campgrounds are all maintained and our businesses that support the campgrounds are maintained, everything's fine. Oh my god. That is disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. These people should... Ugh.
The council has also proposed to sell off for development a 40-hectare green space of trees and trails known as Nellie Lund Park, bequeathed to the township in 1981 by a war veteran. Opposition to the sale of the land by those who live in the township has grown.
Fuck.
You are currently on a text element.
40 hectares of green space you want to sell off for development? And it was a bequest to the town? Wow. Holy shit. I bet you all these assholes live in Toronto in some ridiculous sky tower of apartment building. This is disgusting. This may be drastic, but I'm sorry, but this may be a drastic step, but I think if anybody is caught doing this crap, like voter manipulation and all this nonsense, they should immediately have their right to vote just taken away from them. If you're gonna fuck with other people's civic stuff and their township, just for your basically for your financial well-being, you don't deserve to exercise that right. Because you obviously don't know how to exercise that right properly. So we're just going to take it away from you. That's what I think should happen. That's what I think should happen. If you're going to play this game with the right to vote, then you know what? Fuck you. You don't get a right to vote in any elections. You've lost that right to choose who you want representing you. Because you clearly don't care about everyone else's rights to have their representation be fair.
The 3 councillors, meanwhile, continue to defend their right to make decisions for the township as elected officials representing their constituents. You are currently on a text element.
Fuck off. Representing their constituents.
Watch. Wollaston Township residents say campers have taken over local government.
That's basically, that's what that's the gist of that article and my opinion on the subject. Let's move on before I beat this dead horse. Blind going all gunny now. Yep. That's me. That's me. You know me. If I get pissed off enough, I'm just like, fuck you. That's my orientation teacher actually told me, my cane instructor, she's like, you're so into politics and you like understand all of this, and you're really good at explaining all of this to me and everything, and you should really go into politics. And I'm like, are you insane? You don't want me in politics? Then first of all, I can't keep my mouth shut. Like, could you imagine me in the House of Commons? Could you imagine me in the House of Commons? We would like to remind the candidate or the member of Parliament that foul language is not toterated in the House. Oh, is that so, asshole? Or, we just straightly just, Mr. Prime Minister, you are full of absolute shit. It's just, I'm like, I would be a horrible politician. You don't want me in politics. You totally do not want me in politics. Oh my god. I mean, it would make for great video clips, but other than that, not much. Yup. It would go about as well as you. That's right, Gunny. That's right. I deal with, like, there's some crazy protesters showing up screaming about nonsense, and I just look at them and I go, you do realize none of that makes any sense and you're all full of shit, right? Oh, BC healthcare workers respond to slap-in-the-face protests outside hospitals. Okay. So this is another one that I found. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm getting through all of these links. Because, I totally need them all. Ugh. Now it's taken me all the way past the... Okay. I just want to get through the sharing links. Is that too much to ask? Oh, Lord. Apparently it is. Apparently it's far too much to ask. Okay, here we go. I have found the story. I have found the body of the story. Let me just find the beginning of the story, shall I? Oh, my Lord. Okay. Finally. Here we go. Sorry about that, guys.
Vancouver with COVID-19 patients once again filling up BC's intensive care units. The workers trying to keep them alive are enraged that protesters crowded outside hospitals this week in opposition to an incoming vaccine passport system.
Yeah, why would you protest outside the hospitals? Doctors? Okay. Guys. you do have the right to protest, okay? Nobody's saying you don't. But doctors are not policymakers, okay? Those people are at the legislature. Those are the people you would like to be speaking to.
Reaction to the link protests. Promoted as a health freedom demonstrations purportedly supporting healthcare workers who don't want to be vaccinated, has been swift and scathing, in part because attendees obstructed hospital access.
Okay, no. Come on, guys. First of all, you're protesting in the wrong spot. You need to be protesting outside the legislature. And second of all, don't be assholes and block the access to the hospital. Come on. Like seriously, come on. Blind as being smart, staying out of the toxic news in Discord. I looked and I was like, I don't think I can read any of this and keep my channel if I express my opinion. Yeah, they are idiots, Selected Boy. Yeah, Maniac Man, he's been going back and forth and back and forth. Alright, here we go.
Frontline workers have been flooding social media with their responses, with many thousands of people reacting and thanking them for their efforts to care for patients while putting up with what the health care professionals described as an offensive and disrespectful display at Vancouver General Hospital, Kelowna General Hospital, and Victoria's Royal Jubilee Hospital.
You know, if I were a healthcare worker, right, and there were people protesting, you know, a vaccine passport or whatever outside the hospital, I would be a little annoyed too. Because as I just said, that's not where you protest that shit. That decision, the decision to have a vaccine passport, was not made at the hospitals. Okay? So I would feel disrespected and I would feel upset as well if I were a doctor or a nurse working at a hospital, because not only are these people being morons and protesting in the wrong spot, but they're blocking access. Like, they're impeding actual health care. And they're saying that they're supporting, you know, the freedom of health care, or the healthcare workers who don't want to be vaccinated or whatever. But you cannot have it both ways. You can't promote, you know, the freedom of healthcare workers to not be vaccinated or whatever, and then block access to healthcare. That's dumb. That's really stupid. Let's see. Blind remembers I broke her numerous times. Yes, I'm good at finding the very best in toxic news. Okay, medical directors do make hospital policy. You're correct. You are correct, Maniac Man. But what I'm saying is that this decision for the vaccine passports was a government decision. And while they do have doctors, you know, advising them, the buck stops with the politicians on making that decision, and the protesters need to be taking it up with the politicians. And, you know, if you want to stretch it out to, you know, the chief medical officers of the provinces, or, you know, stuff like that, cool. But again, you'll find those people at, like, the legislature and stuff. You shouldn't be protesting outside hospitals where the majority of the doctors and nurses were not involved in this policy decision and are just trying to do their jobs. and like these people are blocking access to people who, you know, it may not just be COVID, right? There may be people there for other reasons, and these protesters are just blocking access to get to people getting health care.
Twitter tweet. Twitter and Dove. What a disgusting, misguided display of disrespect and ignorance, wrote Kelowna General Worker Jessica Lee Sandberg in a link post that went viral on Facebook. Period. You have made us feel deeply disrespected. You are link wrote Dr. Kari Way. Describing nurses in tears, ambulances unable to access the emergency department, and loud car horns distressing elderly and delirious patients. Our nurses and staff are stellar, and they are burning out. Morale is low. Tensions are high. Beds are full. You are correct.
Wait, they were seriously blocking ambulances from getting to the emergency departments? What the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, I'm sorry. What is wrong with you guys? Like, be angry at the politicians all you want, but, like, what are you guys thinking? That, you know what that's like? That's like storming the grocery stores and shitting all over the cashiers and the stock boys because food prices are so high. What is wrong with you people? Like, holy shit, use your brains.
Several healthcare workers pointed out they began their careers with the very clear requirement they'd need vaccinations to do their jobs, and pointed out no one would be refused medical treatment for being unvaccinated under the new link vaccine health pass.
Yeah, because that's illegal. You can, even if a parent refuses to give their kids the childhood vaccines, right? No doctor is gonna see a kid contracting the measles or whooping cough or diphtheria and be like, oh, mom, you didn't vaccinate your kid? Oh, well, they're dead now. Fuck them. Like, that's not how that works. And it's not going to be any different now. I know there are some idiots that are suggesting that doctors deny medical treatment to people who don't want to get the COVID vaccine. And I've seen plenty of medical professionals reply to those morons and go, yeah, that's against the Hippocratic Oath. That's not how this works. Like, it... Yeah. Yeah, there's tons of variants. Maniac, man. There's lots of variants.
Period. The place for that is outside the legislative buildings, wrote Vancouver nurse Shanna Aguilar on Instagram. They are the ones making policies. Healthcare professionals are just trying to care for the ill and injured, including COVID patients.
Right? See, that's what I just said. This is like, go to the legislative buildings and air your grievances. Stop blocking ambulance access and, like, blaring your car horns and disturbing the patients. You assholes. There is no need for that. This is what I'm talking about. When I said earlier that most of society has just become a bunch of entitled pricks, this is what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, you have the right to protest. No, you don't have the right to protest wherever the fuck you want and disturb everybody else. If you want to protest something specific, go to the specific place that caused the issue and do it there. Like, holy crap. Yeah, Pincalo's right. We are stuck with this shit everywhere. In all Western countries, we are stuck with this. Let's see here. So let's see. I think there's one more, and I think it's an election. Where are we? Here we go. Okay, so like I said at the beginning of the stream, there are two French debates this election. There was one last night hosted on specifically Quebec channel, and then there will be one next Wednesday. Functional and I got the date for the English debate mixed up. So the English debate is next Thursday, and Functional and I will be covering that. So there will be Canadian Wednesday on Wednesday with Functional and I, and then there will be the debate stream on Thursday with Functional and I. And we are going to be coming up with a debate drinking game. And I'm also wondering, what alcohol should I get for that? I don't think cider is going to cut it. Should I get a Mickey of something stronger? What do you guys think? Put it in chat. So let's take a look at this last article. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to do a bit of a rant. I put out a TikTok video about it today, and I may share that one I may share that video to YouTube, post it to YouTube. So the CNIB, the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, when the election started, sent out an email to all of its clients, like its registered clients. It was a letter writing campaign targeting all of the federal MPs in French and English, and they provided the letter, the form, right, for the letter. All you had to do was like fill in the text boxes, and then the rest of the form was rest of the letter was written out, and it was outlining a campaign called We Want to Work. And in this letter, it was like, hey, we'd like you guys to go to Ottawa and push for, more assistance in the, getting more blind people adequately trained, and, more employable. Federalizing the assistive devices program. And also another one was stop the clawback of federal assistance by the provincial disability programs. And their goal was to have 2,500 letters sent to the federal members of parliament. Just to get these mocha jello shots. Don't poison yourself, says Maniac Man. I'd say vodka or rum, or that or grab a 24 pack of beer. I hate beer. Yep, for the first time in 10 years, we don't have booze money for the long weekend. Yep, exactly. So that's why I'm going to make up for it on the debate stream. Anyway, so when I got this email, I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to fill this out right now. So I did. And I got an email update today. And it's just an update with how many letters have been sent out. With 18 days left in the election, there's been 300 letters sent out across Canada. And I'm like, holy shit, blind people of Canada, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you not... one of the biggest organization in Canada for blind and low vision people has provided us an opportunity to reach out to our members of parliament. They've given us a pre-written letter where all we have to do is add our email and our name and hit submit, and it will go off to, like, you just have to check all the MP boxes, fill out your email and your name, the letter gets submitted. That's all you have to do. And only 300 people in the entire country have sent letters. And I'm like, do you guys, like, enjoy languishing on disability? Like, is this fun for you? Because it sure as fuck ain't fun for me. Let me tell you that right now. And if I had, if I had an MP going to bat for me in Ottawa, to push for all this stuff, you're damn right I'll send a letter. Like, why? What the fuck is going on? Like, and I see so many blind people bitching about being in poverty, and I'm like, okay, we've been given an opportunity to have our voices heard. Why in the fuck are so few of us taking that opportunity? God, it's annoying. Anyway, let's read this last article. Conservative leader Erin O'Toole walks out of first debate in one piece. I was actually kind of concerned about how he would do, because he does speak French, but it's not great. His French is not great. And he was going up against two Francophone politicians, Trudeau and Blanchet. I was a bit concerned about how O'Toole would do. So, let's take a look. Where are we here? And remember, guys, I know, I don't know if you guys, I know Patreon, people are a little wary because of their terms of service and all that. And, OnlyFans is, are you serious? You paywall me, you assholes. Let me, that's frustrating. Let me try and find a different version of the story. But as I was saying, if you guys are a little bit wary about using Patreon or OnlyFans, there is a new way to support monthly. You can do that now via Streamlabs. If you go to blindpress.net and then go to the donate tab, instead of the one-time donation, you can click the monthly donation, and all of that goes. They don't take any fee, like processing fees like Patreon does or like OnlyFans does. So if you guys are looking for a way that is not Patreon or OnlyFans to support, you can do the monthly donation. You can and the linktree has the Teespring merch store as well, and those are all great ways to support the content. And as I said, I'm working on getting through to the assistive devices program so that I can get a better computer and up the streaming / video production game. So let's attempt to find ourselves a different version of the article that I was looking for. Because the Globe and Mail is an asshole and paywalled me. Conservative leader first debate. Let's see if that works. I hate paywalls. Oh, there's a National Post article. National Post always works. Let me take a look here. No. We're going to read the National Post article because that is more accessible, and I think this one looks like it will talk about more than just O'Toole. I did want to read the Globe and Mail article. I'm kind of annoyed I got paywalled. I shouldn't have read it. That was my mistake. I read the article this morning, and now they're like, nope, you already read it. Tough shit. You don't get to read it again. The boy earned an hour of video games, and as soon as I'm done, he is to turn off the console, and we are going to the library. And then when we come back, he's going to read his books while I do the dishes and wash the floor. That is what the boy is doing. Now, where is that share screen button, please? There's the share screen button, please. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, 200 episodes ago. Right? Yeah, we're at episode 440 now. Let's see here. Okay. In First Leaders debate, Trudeau hints at another election in 18 months if denied majority. What? You're gonna... If you don't give me what I want, I'm gonna make you do this all again in a year and a half, god damn it. What are you, a child? Oh, wait. Yes. Oh, good lord. Okay, here we go. Let's take a read. Oh. Holy shit, that's who it's BTK? Holy fuck. Hey, BTK. I am well. Hope you're well. Oh. I think it's because voiceover, because you've got some different characters in your name, and voiceover, like I can tell because voiceover switched to a different pronunciation of the characters, so I think that's why I didn't recognize who you were.
Ottawa Liberal leader Justin Trudeau came out swinging against the Conservative, New Democrat and Bloc Québécois leaders, who criticized his decision to plunge Canada into an election and attacked him whenever possible during 2 hours of the first decisive debate in French. You are currently...
So yeah, the reason I didn't cover this, and the reason I'm not covering the other French debate, is my French is not, like, because I'm not up in Quebec and, you know, around my family constantly speaking French, my French sucks right now. And I would not do a very good coverage of it because I would be focusing too much on trying to comprehend everything. And I wouldn't be good at reacting as well as understanding what was being said. So I figured I just wouldn't cover the French debates because I didn't want there to be just nothing. Like, there wouldn't be enough commentary for fair use because I'd just be sitting there going, okay, focus on what they're saying and understand it, and then I would forget to talk. So we're just going to do the English debate.
Heading level 2. Story continues below. This advertisement has not... Heading level 2. The debate, organized by Quebecois TV network TVA, was the first of 3 hosting Trudeau, Conservative leader Aaron O'Toole, NDP leader Jag Meeting, and Bloc Québécois leader Yves-François Blanchet in this election. There were 3 themes for the evening: the pandemic, social issues, and the Canada of tomorrow. Chrome has new window.
Welcome to the Canada of tomorrow! We need that Futurama dude. Welcome to the Canada of tomorrow. Are we all going to be frozen for a while? We're just gonna pop out and everything will be fine. Oh my god, okay.
YouTube video player.
Okay, move on.
Vulgar protests help end of. YouTube video. The stakes were high for each leader, as allegedly Journal TVA poll focused on Quebec voting intentions published Thursday morning shows that the chances of a run-off Liberal win in a majority of the province's ridings is increasingly unlikely as many ridings turn into three-way races between Conservatives, Liberals, and the Bloc.
Yeah, the Liberals are not going to have a runaway vote in any province, I don't think.
During the debate, Trudeau was grilled by opposition members and even debate moderator Pierre Bruno regarding his decision to launch Canada into an unnecessary election during the COVID-19 pandemic. O'Toole said it was not the time for an election, whereas Singh noted that the timing was futile.
Yeah?
Heading level 2. Advertisement. Story continues below. This advertisement has not loaded yet, but your article continues below.
Fine! I don't care about the advertisement.
Heading level 2. Trudeau's main line of defense, which convinced none of the 3 other leaders, was that 80% of people did the right thing and got vaccinated. So should we stop democracy for the minority 20% of people that aren't vaccinated? You are currently...
Wait, what? What? 80% of the population is vaccinated. So should we stop democracy for the other 20%? Dude! We're not due to have an election until 2023. This wasn't necessary. It's not like it's 2023 and it's time for an election and everyone's like, no election. Like, you didn't have to call this election. That makes no sense. What the Oh, I'm glad you're doing all right now, Kayla. Ah, hello. Hello, Eve. Nobody's getting a majority. No. Let's see here.
In response, Blanchet referred to his own experience as a provincial minister in the party Québécois minority government that called an election in 2014 in the hopes of winning a majority. The election ended up being catastrophic for the PQ, the provincial Liberals won a majority, and Blanchet.
Yep.
I played a role in the We Need a Majority movie in 2014, Blanchet said. It was a suspension in my political career.
Yep. That was a hilariously bad election for the PQ. It is unnecessary. It's absolutely unnecessary.
Heading level 2. List in a new tab. Link. Heading end of list in a new tab. Heading level 2. Story continues below. This advertisement has not heading. The relationship between provincial and federal governments also led to heated debates, particularly when it came to imposing new norms in long-term care homes, federal health transfers, and subsidized daycare.
I am totally against federally subsidized daycare, even provincially subsidized daycare. If you have, I think subsidies should be kept at the regional level, the way it is now. I think absolutely bolster those programs and provide some more spots. But the minute you provincially or federally subsidize something like childcare, the minute you completely ruin the childcare, because the government is going to want to cut costs in their funding of that subsidy so that they're not hand over fisting money, and therefore the care providers' pay will be cut. The the staff cleaning the facility, their pay will be cut. Maybe their hours will be cut. The food preparation staff, all of this will completely suffer. And then you'll see kids getting sick more at daycare with worse illnesses. You'll see a faltering of the educational programs at the child care centers. You'll see a lot more injuries. This is his way to get his dopamine release. Yeah. This is his way to get his dopamine release. He will call a fresh election every 2 years to boost his ego, further dwindling his voter base. Yep.
Blanchett criticized Trudeau and all other leaders who wanted to impose federal quality norms on Quebec's long-term care system, while Trudeau and Singh expressed their support for the idea. The Conservative leader also faced multiple questions on his promise to scrap the Liberals' bilateral deals with most provinces to fund daycare programs, including a $6 billion transfer to Quebec, which already has its own subsidized daycare system, in exchange for tax credits on daycare costs directly to parents.
Gee, and why does Quebec need a $6 billion injection of cash into its child care subsidy program? I wonder. Could it be because exactly what I just outlined has been happening? I say to myself. Oh, fuck. Let's see. I like the child tax credit idea. Let's see. They want $10 a day daycare when daycare is usually about $50 to $75 a day. And the government is not going to want to continue to cover that $60 or $70 or $65. They're going to want to figure out a way to make that $65 a day per kid cost way lower so that they can save money. And then that's when you start getting the cost cuts. $6 billion, vote for me! Yeah.
Heading level 2. Story continues. This heading you will not create new daycare spots, Mr. O'Toole, Trudeau said. You are currently on a tech.
No.
Our plan will help all families, O'Toole insisted. You are currently on it. From minute 1, Trudeau came out aggressively against all leaders, firing salvos at his opponents at most opportunities and regularly talking over them during one-on-one discussions.
Yeah, because that's what he does. That's what he does.
I don't think Trudeau has ever been this full of piss and vinegar at a leaders' debate. Not in 2015. Not in 2019. He's always faster paced and French. but he's got a bolt of lightning up his ass tonight. I like the scrappiness, but I lack the French to know how it comes off, tweeted Scott Reed, once an advisor to former Liberal Prime Minister Paul Martin. You are currently on a text...
Yeah, Trudeau's thing is that he really, really, really sucks at coming across the way that I think he wants to in English. But when he gets into French, he gets, like, you think he gets dramatic in English sometimes. He gets ridiculously dramatic. Sightless! Hey, man! But yeah, it's... When he gets into French, he just... His brain goes, oh good, I don't have to think in another language first. I can lie with ease. You know, ugh.
The tactic was particularly effective against O'Toole Lansing in the first half of the debate. The fact that they are not as fluent in French forced them to stick closer to prepared lines before they got more comfortable with the exchanges.
Yep.
Heading level 2.
I could see that.
This advertisement, a strong moment of the debate came between Blanchet and Singh on the topic of systemic racism in Quebec. Blanchet repeatedly demanded that the NDP leader apologize for previous statements by himself and some of his candidates that he says are Quebec bashing and paint the province as racist.
I'm sorry, Monsieur Blanchet, but I know personally of an immigrant who has her Canadian citizenship and lives in your fine province. And immigrants in your fine province, regardless of whether they hold citizenship or not, do not get to choose where their kids go to school, and their kids must attend an entirely French-speaking school. They do not have the option to send their child to an English school. Immigrants do not have a choice in where their children get an education in Quebec simply because they're immigrants. And you guys want people to say that you're not racist? You get fucked. Moving on.
Singh instead rebuffed the Bloc leader, saying that he denounces all forms of Quebec bashing, all the while acknowledging that Quebecers and Francophones have faced systemic discrimination in the past. You are currently on it.
Oh, God.
What he is doing is desperate, Singh added about Blanchet, also quieting the Bloc leader every time he tried to interrupt him in what became Singh's strongest showing of the evening. The current minority government is the 5th longest lasting in Canada's history. You are currently...
The 5th longest lasting? That's not exactly a great strength.
Trudeau later faced questions on his management of the sexual misconduct crisis in the Canadian Armed Forces. You are currently on heading level 2. Advertisement. Story. This advertisement has not loaded. Heading left. The Conservative leader accused his government of ignoring evidence related to alleged misconduct by former Chief of Defence Staff Jonathan Vance. Trudeau argued that everyone had followed proper procedure and that politicians should not get involved in independent processes.
Oh, they shouldn't, should they? Politicians shouldn't be involved in independent processes, huh? Really? Really, Mr. Trudeau? Oh, is that so? Oh, really? Then can you explain your guys' involvement in the government contracts to Libya from SNC-Lavalin? Can you explain all the bullshit with the We charity? No? No, you can't? Oh, well then shut up! Oh my God. Oh my good God. Oh, what the fuck are you talking about? I am still going. I'm trying to finish this article.
Then came the environment, where Trudeau was criticized for his government's decision to purchase the Trans Mountain Pipeline, all the while trying to move Canada away from fossil fuels. You are...
Yeah, okay, you purchased the pipeline. You say you want to get us away from fossil fuels. Then you purchase the pipeline, and then a whole bunch of about 80% of the indigenous tribes along that pipeline were like, yes, we want it. It will give us jobs and infrastructure and education for our kids. And 20% of them went, no, bad. And Trudeau went, oops, sorry, no pipeline. Like, what the... Ugh.
Very little time was spent discussing climate change and indigenous issues during the debate, a fact that was lamented by many observers and experts on social media. Later in the debate, moderator Pierre Bruno asked party leaders if they would work in a coalition government in the case where the election leads to another minority government.
And there was a resounding hell no from all of them.
Heading level 2.
I bet.
This advertisement. Heading level... Most skirted the question, except Trudeau, who threatened that it was possible that Canada be back in an election in 18 months if another minority government is elected on September 20th. You are currently...
Like I said, a resounding hell no. The entire Quebecois separatist movement was derived entirely to suppress Anglophones. Yep. Joe also helped kill the pipeline. Yep, he did.
During a press conference after the debate, Trudeau specified that he was referring to the notion that 18 months is the average historic lifespan of a minority government in Canada.
Yeah, that's what you were referring to. Sure.
The current minority government is the 5th longest lasting in Canada's history, he noted. You are...
That, again, not exactly something to brag about.
All 4 leaders sounded comfortable and fluent in French, unsurprisingly for Trudeau and Blanchett, but a sign that O2 Lansing had practiced significantly over the last few months. You are currently... It's the first time since I'm of voting age that I listen to a federal leadership debate in which all the leaders speak a French that is truly understandable. What a joy to be able to listen to ideas rather than having to play the cryptographer, Stephanie Chouinard, a political science professor at the Royal Military College in Kingston, said on social media. Bullet email.
So, yeah, that's what happened in the first debate of the election last night. And remember, guys, the English debate is next Thursday, September 9th. Jesus Christ. I can word. September 9th. Functional and I will be covering it. And also we will be back on Wednesday with Canadian Wednesday. And be sure to tune in tonight on Twitch for some Beat the Blind Girl. Also, there will be no Star Trek stream this Saturday. There are a bunch of, like, not just me, but a couple of other members of the panel are unable to make it. So we are going to postpone until next week. So, be sure to catch us all there next week for Star Trek. I think it might have Costin. Because I didn't see anything else from you. But yes, so be sure to come by tonight on Twitch at around 11 p.m. Catch the next coffee stream on Monday. And I will see you all then. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe and happy this Labor Day weekend. Goodbye, everyone.